Hey, my name is Ryan with Yushu, and today I'm looking at what I have affectionately nicknamed the Munson Monsters. Yes, the Luosjiet Paratroop boots P02 in their tan Latigo leather. What makes these so special? Watch to find out. Really, the main thing that makes this boot so special, so unique, is that it's built on the Munson last. Now, we're not going to go into the Munson last, when it was created, why it was created. There are a ton of excellent reviewers who have talked about that. But what we're going to talk about in this video is what makes Luosjiet's version of it so stinking cool. And I want to do a quick shout out of Michael Corleone on Instagram. I think he's Mr. Big Cuff on Instagram now. I'll put his Instagram handle down in the description. He didn't review these boots, but he got their other boots, and I think he's called them the Munson Rangers because their patterning is a lot more like an Iron Ranger. But this is really patterned after a Paratroop boot, and it's built on this tan Latigo grain cowhide leather. It's just really special. It's amazing QC, and I think it's something that is just going to be hard to find if you're looking for a boot with these specs. So what we'll do now, take a deep dive into these amazing boots with these amazing soles and awesome features. Let's go into some specs of the boot while you can see what these look like on feet. This is the tan Latigo grain cowhide leather. Of course, it's built on the Munson last. It has 4 eyelets, 3 speed hooks, and it's gusseted up to that 4th eyelet. It's built with a Goodyear 270-degree flat welt construction. It features a 4mm leather insole, a leather midsole, a leather heel counter, a leather heel stack, and a rubber outsole. And it is built like a tank, but not just like a tank, like a super refined tank. So let's take a closer look at it. When looking at this boot, we really have to start by looking at this toe box. I mean, look at this Munson toe box. For a lot of people, this is going to be a love it or hate it type of design. This is something you're definitely not going to wear with any slim fit jeans. It just will not work in that wardrobe, but unbelievably unique. Now, a note about this boot, it does have a true leather toe cap. Luosjiet is making a bunch of other boots on their Munson last, and they're making some affordable boots on their Munson last. But this one is in their custom MTO option. You get this on the website for around $550. It might be on sale right now for $500, and they build it to order to your size, and it just looks awesome. But it is an expensive boot, so this isn't like the best value boot for your money unless you've been looking for something like this and you just can't find something this nicely crafted with this unique build. So first, let's start on the bottom of the boots. You have Luosjiet's kind of proprietary sole. This is the same heel that I have on a couple of Luosjiet boots. You can see it's nailed. Then it has this nice sanded waist with a dyed waist. I forget what this is called. They have stained this. They've stained the stitches. You have the stitches around the boot. It looks amazing. Now, they don't channel the stitch, but they do put the machine on a level that helps it to get below the surface. So it looks like there's a missed stitch here, but it's actually there. It's just the rubber is covering it. And then they have this like a V-bar sole, which, is probably just a Chinese made V-bar sole. It seems fine. I haven't really used these outdoors, but to my touch, to my feel, it looks about the same. Going up from there, you have this leather heel stack, and just look how nice this is finished. That's what's so cool about Luosjiet. It's with their $500 boots, it's not like you're getting this insane value for your money. This is for the guy who wants a really nice boot, but doesn't want to pay upwards to $1,000 for it because you're getting finishing that is awesome. It's just amazing finishing. And I will say a lot of people ask me when I review Luosjiet, they want me to compare it to a bunch of brands. Basically, to everything that I've reviewed, Luosjiet has some of the best finishing possible. It is really awesome, really great for the price, and just really great finishing. The bottom of this boot makes it extremely special. But then you go up from there. You have the stitching of that 270-degree flat welt, and you have this leather. Now, what's so cool about this leather, it's like a raw leather. And what I mean by that, it's up to you what you want to do with this. Now, Luosjiet and XBXS, they actually will stain this leather. They'll hand stain it in their MTO models. But in this way, in this form, You can either put like a Big Four to darken it up a little bit, or you can put like a Venetian shoe cream on there to give it even a little bit more depth and a little bit more shine and kind of do what you want with it. Or you can rock this tan Latigo leather just how it is, and you're going to get like amazing patina. And to go back to what these boots will look like long term, I want to talk again about Michael, who is on Instagram. If you want to see what this leather looks like after being worn a few times, also after being conditioned with Big Four, please go check out his Instagram. You're going to have to go back in the archive, scroll down a little bit to see, but he did a ton of amazing shots of what he called the Munson Ranger, which is very similar to this. It just doesn't have the perforated cap toe, and it has more of an Iron Ranger design and a backstay. He really styles it right. He sets it up. He gets beautiful photos of it, and he shows you what this leather is really like. So let's jump into the boot. I mentioned that it was gusseted. There's the gusset, nice Latigo tongue, and they also have a version of this where it's the reversed side too, which looks super cool. Which this leather is neat. It's Latigo is a chrome tan retannished chrome veg retan, what you know famously of Horween's Chrome Excel, where they do a chrome tan on it to make it really strong, and then they do a veg retan on it to give it just that really cool patina potential, really nice look. It's a pretty firm leather, and right now it's fairly dry, but again, that's by design. This is kind of the natural state of the leather. If you want to, you can, put some oils in it, make it however you see fit. But then inside, it's the same as all of Luosjiet's other boots. You have that full veg tan insole and that quarter sock liner. No foam, no pour on. This is kind of a standard how a boot's supposed to be, and it will break into your footprint over time and be super comfortable. But that does mean you're going to have a break-in with these boots. There's no way to get around it. So now let me turn that camera around. I'll put these on and we can go over sizing, because it might seem fairly straightforward, but I size in these a little bit differently how I size normal Luosjiet boots. So if you are a eagle-eyed viewer, you will see that I have dress socks on, and that should probably give you an idea of how to size these boots if you know anything about how I size Luosjiet boots. If you don't know anything about how I size Luosjiet boots, that's fine. We'll explain it right here. So normally what I do with Luosjiet is I do a full size down. So if you go on their website, they have a conversion, kind of like a Red Wing conversion, and I go a full size down. So what that means is what they would recommend I would be wearing is a 46 and a half. They recommend me wearing a 46 and a half because my Brannock size is 12 and a half. So then I would be sizing down 1/2 size to 12, and that would get me 46 and a half. But with Luosjiet service boots, I actually size down a full size. I size all the way down to an 11 and a half or 46. But with these, which are 11 and a half, that 46, what I normally do in the service boots, I notice they're a little bit tighter. Now that seems like counterintuitive, right? Because it's a Munson style, but it's a little bit tighter. Well, what you have to remember is that just because it's a Munson style doesn't mean it's going to be growing. That service boot last fits my foot just kind of in a special, unique way. The Munson last, which this might be the first time I've ever had a true Munson lasted boot, it just fits my foot a little bit smaller. So what I would say is don't even listen to my recommendation about going down a full size in their service boots. I think that's unique to my foot, but go down a half size, go down a half size with these. These are just a little bit snug for me, so I would have gone a half size. I actually have another pair of their Munson style boots, not these exactly, in 12D or 46 and a half, so I'll be able to kind of dial in the size a little bit better. And I do apologize. These pants are probably a little bit too narrow fit. I don't have any like selvage denim that is a loose fit. I'll get there, but for now, this is what's gonna have to work with these, because these really are made to go with selvage denim. They just look so awesome, so cool. They're amazing boots. And again, if you want to see really good shots of these, go to Mike's Instagram. He has beautiful shots of these. What I'll say is, even though that they're a little small, right now when I have dress socks in, I pull it off no problem. But they are very anatomical, right? I mean, which makes sense. It's the Munson last, but they are also really supportive. So the heel is nice and snug, while the forefoot is roomy, and it's something that doesn't really collapse on this part of your foot, and then it allows your toes a lot of room to wiggle. And these will look way better when they're broken in, of course. But as of right now, um, yeah, they still look awesome. But the Munson last is going to be a love it or hate it type of last. So this is the important part. You're going to now see the top down, what I see, and it's going to be able to give you an opinion if this is a boot that's right for you. Here's the key shot. The top down of the mighty Munson boot. Now, some guys are going to think this is about the coolest thing they have ever seen, and some guys are going to be like, it is just not for them. To me, it is so unique to have that tight waist, that tight heel, but then that huge, huge Munson style toe box. And it is just a really cool looking boot. And the fact that the stitches are perfect, that frame it just gives it a really nice look. This boot kind of made me think of the Viberg 310 boot. A lot of guys just absolutely love the Viberg 310 boot. It's not my deal, it's not my style because for me it's just like a little bit too pointy, a little bit too sharp. Now I know, I'll get some hate for that in the comments and we all have different opinions and that's great. But this is a way to get that same vibe, that same mood where it is just really unique, but it doesn't have that point. It's a little bit more understated, a little bit more of a refined look, in my opinion, only, of course. And what's cool about this boot is this boot, it looks interesting, right? It looks really cool, but normal people probably won't even notice it. Only boot guys will notice how interesting it is. And I don't know about you, but I don't wear boots to be noticed by people. I don't really want to stand out that much. I just want to dress nice, look good when I go out. And I think this boot will do it. It'll give you that same vibe of a 310, something that's just unique, something that's kind of a monstrous boot, but it's not going to stand out and make you look weird. Not like the Viber boot makes you look weird, but this is the Luosjiet Paratroop boot. This is a super cool design that I think the Luosjiet kind of nailed, and the quality is spot on, and it's just a really cool boot. So let me know if you have any questions about this boot, and I will try to get to them in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.